Hey guys, how you doing? It's Andy Elliott. Look, I want to talk to you today about an objection that I see a lot of people really struggling with, okay? And this is something that is one of those deals where I think it's time to maybe decide if you're a salesman or if you're a closer. Because the way that you'll handle this when someone says, hey, we'll get back with you. At that point, you're either going to go to try to take that customer down or you're going to let them leave. I'm going to go over some numbers with you I think that you'll find that are quite interesting, okay? And I want you to gather on your side where you stand when you hear this. Now, this could be on the phone, this could be in person, it doesn't matter. When you hear this objection, I'm going to show you how I handle it and how successfully, I would say at least 50 to 60% of the time, I can take this customer and I can convert them to a close. So client says, I'll get back with you. You got to decide whether you're the first salesman or the second I'm going to describe here. The first is the order taker. We know this, 70% of the customers, okay, when they say that they're going to get back with us, we'll never hear from them again. Let me explain this to you. I didn't say 70% will buy. I said 70%. Statistics show you'll never hear from again. So think about this. So you got 10 people, and 3 of them you're going to get back in contact with if you let them leave. The other 7, they're going to ghost you. They're gone. Now, there could have been something wrong with the deal, or maybe they just weren't interested. But bottom line is, you never had a chance to solve any problem because you never surfaced the problem. Okay? And the one thing that I see about salesmen all the time is that salesmen aren't great at surfacing problems so they can close and overcome the issue to advance the sale, to close the customer, to sell their product. What I see is, I see closers do that, and a lot of salesmen, man, they see like, man, why does that guy sell more cars? Why is that guy making more money? This is why. The difference between where you want to go and where you're at now is the gap in your skill set. If you're not increasing your skill set, if you're not making everybody say, wow, like that dude is awesome. Like I would just sit in the cubicle next to him and I heard him talking to his customers. It was beautiful. If you're not that guy, if you're not so good that you can't be ignored, then you've got more practicing to do, okay? And those people that are that good, they practice every single day. Repetition is the master of skill. I will tell you this, 70% when they leave, you'll never hear from them again. Now you got that first salesman that's the order taker. He's not going to press his customer. He's going to say, okay, what information do I need to get with you? What can I send you in an email maybe? What other additional information can I get you? He's going to say, when can I contact you next? Would it be okay to contact you tomorrow? Maybe in 3 days, maybe in a week? Sure, you set those appointments, but remember, 70% you're never going to hear from. You play those odds, you'll go broke. Closers, they bet on themselves. Okay, so rejection is nothing. It's something that we get every day in life. Don't be scared of it and have no fear of rejection. It's okay. It's no big deal. Listen, if they were going to leave and they were going to ghost you, you're never going to hear from them again anyways. You might as well give them your best while they're there. And I'll tell you this, I've learned 70% of people that I can't get a hold of does me no good. And honestly, if they're not interested, wouldn't you rather know that they're not interested? I mean, as much as we have to do in a day, and as many things as we need to do, isn't it good for us to focus on potential positive clients? Now, if that customer, if they're really not interested and they tell me, well, I follow up with them and say hi? Yeah, but look, hot prospects are your next deal. Follow-up is crucial. I'm not discounting follow-up, but I'm saying that hot prospects are who we need to be taking down. And a lot of the times, a hot prospect could become a sale right on your showroom floor immediately if you would ask better questions and if you could find the problem so you could solve it. Okay? So, one of the 2 things are going on here, okay? And you got to understand that people, and a lot of times now, they're just polite. So you know what they say? Hey, I'll get back with you. And what they're saying is, I'm not interested. But instead of them rejecting you, they're going to say, I'll just get back with you. That's their polite way of saying it. Hey, I appreciate you customers for saying that, but guess what? It doesn't change our pocketbook. It doesn't help us sell anything. And then we can't decide if that customer is a hot prospect or not. So when they're saying that, hey, I'll just get back with you, and they're being polite, that's number 1. I see a lot of that. Number two, this is actually the bigger issue, especially like if you work in a car dealership, for example, right? If someone drove onto your lot and you go out and say hi to them, and you find yourself after doing a great presentation, showing them the vehicle, making them fall in love with you, building rapid rapport, massive rapport the entire time, right? You guys got a great relationship, and they say, Andy, listen, I appreciate everything you've done. You've been amazing. I'm going to need to get back with you. Thank you, though, for everything you've done. At that point, you've got a choice to make. Did these people come to you? Yeah. Are they interested? Yeah. Yeah, they're interested. Will they buy? Yeah. Look, it's not a matter of if they're going to buy, but when, and the when is going to be when the deal's right. And the sooner you recognize that and understand that, the sooner you'll start closing at a higher percentage, and you'll start growing your self-worth, your bank account, and your value, and believing in yourself. The difference in where you are or where you want to go is your gap in your skill set. You got to increase it. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to get uncomfortable before you're going to get better. It's a grind, but the payoff is huge. So one or two. One, they're being polite, they're not interested. Two, something's wrong with the deal, okay? Now, do they want to hand you all the information, right? Like, hey, I think this is wrong and that's wrong. Do you think that they want to hand you your commission, or do you need to work for it? You need to work for it. And listen, I'm going to tell you this. The difference between being a salesman and a closer is salesmen, they sell the product, but they don't close anything most of the time unless they get lucky. Closers, they sell the product, and then they're ready to ask for the business. They're interested in finding what the problem is, because there's always a problem, unless you got lucky. And whatever the problem is, they're ready to solve it, right? So that's it. It's like going to the doctor's office. Something's wrong with you. You got to get prescribed a solution. You guys, most of the time, don't prescribe a solution to anybody. You just kind of let them go and like make it their choice to what they decide to do. So here's what I want to do. Since we know 70% will never hear from them again, I want you to explain what you need to do on your end, and then I'm going to share with you my word track. Now I would tell you this, get a spiral notebook, okay? And get a pen and write this down. Get a piece of paper and write this word track down when I go over it. Rewind the video, write the word track down. The word track, if you learn it, it's crucial. And like I said, it'll have you closing 50 to 60% whenever someone says, I'll get back with you, okay? Things that you need to start doing. Since we know 70% when they leave, we'll never hear from them again. If you are a closer at this point and you want to be a closer and you want to increase, you're going to need to take control of the conversation or retake control of the conversation. Listen, I'm all about selling like a lion and acting like a lamb, okay? I don't sell high pressure, I sell very low pressure, but the pressure is applied for sure. I will tell you this, one of the things is I like to think about a spotlight, and I hold the spotlight, but the spotlight's on my customer, okay? I don't hold the spotlight and put it on me. So as I explain this to you guys, take it in context. Great closers, when I'm sitting down with someone or I'm standing up or I'm on the phone, guys, my voice lowers. The way that I handle myself changes. But I want you getting fired up on your end so you can see that advancing your skill set is going to advance your bank account. And if you're one of these people that's an order taker out there and this isn't something that you want to learn, you might as well just go close your bank account because there's going to be nothing to put in it. All right? Take control of the conversation or retake control. Hold the spotlight. Keep it on them. Lay out the facts to the customer. And I'm going to explain what I mean here in a second. And you're going to need to be direct. Listen, I'm going to tell you this, okay? It's almost 2020, okay? Do you think customers want you to be direct with them? Don't we owe it to them? I mean, don't you think that that's fair when we cross that line and are direct with them? A lot of you guys are scared like you're going to hurt the customer's feelings. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. The customer's lying to you right now. No disrespect, customers, but the customer's lying to you right now saying, I'll get back with you. Do you think they're going to get back with you? No, they're not going to get back with you. So my point is, if they can lie and say they're going to get back with you when they're not, can't you be direct with them right now and be honest? Isn't that taking the higher road? I think so, okay? And then surface the real issue. Guys, you've got to surface the real issue, okay? Because like I said, once you find out what the problem is, then you can close it. Now I'm going to go over this word track with you, and obviously I hand out free training videos every single week because my number one goal is, listen, I'm going to tell you this, I'm not better than you. I don't think I'm better than anybody. But I'm going to tell you this, I've changed so many people's lives by sharing what I know, I love it. And if you're on the other end right now and you're like, oh, this isn't my favorite guy to watch, or I don't like doing this, hey, that's fine. But you know who I learn from? Everybody. Guys, there's not a single person that I don't learn from. Not one single person. You know how many mentors I have? Tons. You know where I get my content from on sales training and closing and negotiating? From everyone. Listen, if you only watch one person and you're like, I'm just going to learn from this guy, I'm going to explain to you, you're going to get about this big, okay? It's the information world. It's 2020. If you want to become the best in the world, if you want to put yourself in a position, right, where you can't be ignored, that you're so good, you're going to have an opportunity arise one day in front of you that's going to pay off tenfold because of all that wonderful information that you've learned from everybody. Remember that. So humble yourselves down. If I can give you something that will help you on your end, man, that's a gift. All I care about is growing the best salesman in the world, all right? Regardless what kind of business you're in. Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. Here's my word track. Get your pen and pencil. I'm going to read it to you, and I want you to understand this, that if you say this over and over, when someone says, I'll get back with you, you're going to be so prepared to overcome this. You'll go 20, 30, 40, 50, 60%. And then you get to a point where every time you know that a customer is interested, especially if you're at a car dealership and they pull up on your lot, you think they're not interested? I think they're interested. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to close that client. Okay? So my word track is, let's be honest. Most of the time when someone says, and this me telling you, let's be honest, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. Most of the time when someone says, I'll get back with you, when they tell me that, okay, I never hear from them again. 99% of the time, something is wrong with the deal, or the customer's just being polite and they're not interested. Say that to your customers. Are you just being polite and you didn't want to reject me? Most of the time they'll say, no. If they say, yeah, guess what? Instead of wearing them out on the telephone, at least you know you got a disqualified lead and at least you know they're not interested. You can go back and see if you have another product that you could sell them. But if they're not interested, disqualify them. Hey, do your follow-up and say hi. But guess what? They're not going to be a hot prospect to follow up with, and at least you got the truth out of them. Isn't that what it's all about? Or secondly, right? Like, are you being polite and you just don't want to reject me? No? Say this. I'd like to be direct with you if that's okay. What would I need for us to do business right now? What would I need to do for us to do business right now? Let's lay it out on the table. Guys, let's bottom line this deal. Okay? What does that mean when I say, hey, let's bottom line this deal? Would you mind if I was direct? Can I lay it all out there and say, look, obviously you're not interested, right? And then you just don't want to reject me, you don't want to hurt my feelings? Or it's the latter, right? Which is basically, maybe something's wrong with the deal. Maybe it's the price. Maybe it's the payment. Maybe it's the term. Maybe it's your trade. Maybe it's the interest rate, right? Well, Andy, okay, so let me tell you what it is. Or I'll tell you kind of something that is bothering me a little bit. Great. Listen, I want you to lay it all out there with me. I would love for you to just tell me the truth, whatever it is. And guess what? I can take it. And guess what? It's not a matter of if you're going to buy it, but when, right, Mr. Customer? And the when is probably when the deal's right? So I'm here, you're here, the car you just drove is here. Let's make this deal, okay? Share with me this information so I can take care of you right now. Guys, that's it. All that I ask is that you get the truth so you can solve the problem. So that is how you handle the objection. I'll get back with you. And I promise you this, if you'll learn that word track, you will be closing at an unbelievably high rate, and your skill set, that gap, will start to shrink in, okay? Hope you love the video, and I got a whole bunch more of them coming your way. Thank you.